Hey guys, so somebody asked me in the comments about my Tomb Kings and about my my giants or my ogres. I'll do the ogres after, but we're gonna cover the Tomb Kings for now. So they wanted to see kind of how the project's going. So what I did was I've got them all set up on my shelf here. These are all just basic Tomb Kings in this line here. We can just kind of skip them there. Actually, they aren't even basic Tomb Kings. These are Tomb King, Tomb Guard, specifically. It's actually funny. I bought like half of these. I still have a handful of these still unpainted, but that's more because I don't actually need any more than this, but at least not yet. But anyway, I bought these some of these before the old world actually came out. You know. Anyway, I've also got Ushabti back here. These are kit bashed. I'm going to tear these apart at some point and rebuild them. I use those Tomb King snake bodies, which can be the big guy heads, and just kind of random bits and pieces to try and actually build, a body. The legs, meanwhile, are those, I don't know what they're called. They're the skeletons from, the big ones from, I'm not sure what they're called, but they're three-headed. They're from one of the undead factions in Age of Sigmar. They have three heads. They can carry either dual-wielding big weapons, or they do, like, giant weapons. I don't know what they're actually called. This is actually using one of the snake heads, by the way. But, yeah. I can't remember what they're called. Either way, this is kind of how I kit bash these. I'm going to try and rebuild these at some point. Anyway, here we'll skip those because they're kind of way back there. If we go to the front, we have this guy with a horn, this guy with a banner. So I have a horn and a banner for my Tomb Guard. I'm not even sure what's useful or not. Actually, you can even see this guy fell off his base. I've got to fix some of these. I haven't touched these in a while. I have two of the snakes. They don't have riders because I actually use the riders for something else. You'll see them soon. But I wanted them just as snakes anyway for what I'm using them for. Because they aren't actually, you'll notice the lack of square bases. These are for my RPG games. If this will focus on the snake. There we go. And I have two more. I'm just going to zoom just to show you. So you've got this guy here. I gave them golden teeth and little bowls and stuff by their feet to show that they're, hanging out in some ancient tomb. Up here we've got the Tomb King, Hyro Titan. I'm going to build another one of these at some point. I have a plan. I'll explain it after this. But it's just some giant legs attached to a Necrosphinx upper body and kind of belly area there, you see. His hand is holding a big skewer, like made of wood. And then I added a top there from one of the snake tails. And the bottom's, I think, a spike from... I can't remember what the spike's from. But yeah. Over here we've got the chariot, which is modular. I think I've shown this off before. I'm going to just pull it out and set it to the side here. We'll look over that in a second. Because that relates to my other thing that I'm going to reveal. I grabbed the Stormcast Hound things, Griffhounds. I never liked them. They look awful kind of as base things, so I actually turned them into Tomb King dogs. It actually looks a bit better, I think. They've got a few little things you get from the various kits, like this. I'm going to move that over there too. You can't see it. I'm just going to shift it out of the way. You'll see it in a second. Then I've got my special guys. These are just like cooler posed. Sorry, I was shifting them. Cooler posed Tomb Guard with special weapons. Like these guys got battle axes. Those are actually not an actual Tomb Guard thing. Just a sec. There's this guy here with a long spear and a shield. There's this guy who's got the spear and he's got that big horn. There's this guy with a really long spear. And what I did was I actually have let me shift some stuff out of the way. I have a Hyro Titan. Those engineer guys. I kind of kit bashed the way he looks. It's funny, I actually used these for my medic, so that's actually one short that I can't use now. Still, though, I think he looks too cool with it, so I'm going to leave it. He's got this kind of merged blades kind of arch thing. Let's see. I have an actual Tomb King, which I'll pull him to the side. That one too, and that one. You won't see them just yet. I have one of the Tomb Mage guys. I don't know what they call them. Necro. I'm not sure. Funny enough, I don't know what most of them are actually even called. This is one of the mages, though. This is the back of a Bretonnian Knight helmet. The one for the woman head. This is pretty much all just Tomb King bits. That belly piece right there, that's from a Custodian. This hand and potion thing, that's from an Orc. The Cruel Boys mage. The head, funny enough, I clipped off the top. This is actually the head of one of the horns. Let me see if I can pull up the actual... It's the same head. I really like that. It made me think of the mummy when I had it, so I ended up making it into this head. Filled it with that green glowing stuff, so it's like he's screaming magic. Anyway, we've got another Tomb King back here. This one, I took inspiration from actual Egypt. Gave him the hook from a Tomb King, one of the snake guys. And I took a whip from Fireforged Peasants. So now, sorry, I'm just trying to lock it. Now I've got a guy with a hook, or whatever they call them, and a whip. Like an actual, pharaoh from Egypt. He's also got the Tomb King, the best Tomb King head in my opinion, if it'll focus on it. Which is one of the Snake Rider heads. Comes with the beard and everything, looks like an actual Egyptian head. You can actually see this is one of the Tomb Kings that are supposed to ride, because he had his feet in a funny way. I had to put them on bricks. And finally, back here, I have the Royal Herald. He's got a giant banner, which is actually from the Necro Sphinx. He's just holding a sword. I really love building these guys. We will shift to the right a little bit, move some stuff out of the way. You can see, I think that's a War Sphinx, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I just built them however they looked to make them as cool as possible. Actually, I'm going to pull out the giant real quick. I really put a lot of work into this guy's base. He's standing on a brick, as you can see, but the brick's fallen on some poor skeleton who, or maybe an old adventurer. Didn't work out too well for him in the end, it looks. Let's quickly now move him back out of the way. He's just got a dead skeleton there, but on to the last bit. Here's the Tomb King himself. He has an actual extra arm there because you can swap out his shield if you want. I don't even think this is a thing you can do in Warhammer Fantasy or the Old World. I just like it. Let me see if I can get him. There. And he can hold both. He's also... That's his on-foot base. But the reason he can get onto the smaller base is to fit him onto here. So now you can ride the chariot. So move him back. Other than that, I have this Tomb King here. This was the first Tomb King I made. The actual Tomb King Pharaoh guy. Yeah. I made him before I actually got most of these, funny enough. And finally, I have two things. This is a Lich Priest, that's what they were called. A Lich Priest, that's what that mage back here is called. This is also a Lich Priest, or technically a real Tomb King. But first we'll go with this, which is a Casket of Souls. It's just a bunch of clay in there with spare skeleton bits. All of this is made out of wood, except for these, which are the banner bits. That's from Skaven. These are blades, and that's actually from a Nurgle kit. And this is just a basic Tomb King with an orb thing. I got that from an old D&D kit thing. From like a wizard tower loadout thing. And that's the Tomb King himself. And he can lock in with a magnet. So he can be a Casket of Souls. Anyway, that's my Tomb King army, kind of showing you how the project's gone. And then I'll do a separate video for my giants. I hope you enjoy.